Hello, welcome. Just waiting for Kimiko to join me and then we can get started. Um, but while we, oh, there we are. Hi, Kimiko.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Um, Thank you for joining me today. For those of you that don't know and are joining us on the live, this week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And so we want to help elevate survivor stories in ways that the community can provide support and also keep their loved ones' memory alive. Um, Kimiko, I am going to read the short bio that you shared with us, and then I can go ahead and ask the questions for those of the people that are joining on here. So Kimiko Washington was born and raised in Tucson. She is a wife, a mother of four, and a grandma. She is currently fighting justice for the murder of her son, Ocean Washington, memorializing and honoring her son's life and continuing his legacy. Um, it's really interesting because every time that I think about Ocean, from the conversations that we had and the pictures you've shared, I always just immediately go to him and the pictures of him skateboarding. Um, and so, I mean, that's those pieces that we talk about as being able to keep his memory alive. And so it's like I wouldn't have never known that if he hadn't shared those memories and those pictures. So can you share a little bit about for the people that are joining us about who Ocean was and the wonderful boy that he was?
So, Ocean always, when he was little, he was like that kind of daredevil kid, doing the monkey bars early and always really strong. And he took to skateboard. When he fell, it was like, hey, mom, look, I scratched myself. That's going to be a scar. Those were his stories he got to tell, whenever he got a new scar. And he got a bike when he was 3. My Aunt Rose got him a bike, and he got his first mongoose when he was 5, and he had that bike up until he didn't get rid of it until he was almost 20 years old, but he really took to BMXing. He said BMX is life. He loved that bike. It was just his passion, just something he could ride, and kind of like how we have therapy, right? Like shopping or whatever. That was his thing, and he met a lot of people through their BMXing, skateboarding, um, and so Ocean, he was a regular kid. I think had his friends, liked girls, and fell in love with this girl. They started a life together, and he had this baby girl, and I think it was a big thing for him to have all of his things, like, together with BMXing, his love life, his social life, his child, his life with his child, and it was all coming together for him, I think.
Yeah. So it's been how long has it been since Ocean's passing?
So Ocean was killed October 18th, 2021. I stopped counting the days. It wasn't good for me, but it's a little over 2 years.
Yeah. Um, and if I remember correctly, you kind of immediately got support from HSI, right? Like within that
Hmm.
initial phase. Can you, I mean, and we've seen you learn, different ways of taking care of yourself and being able to um, kind of, navigate the ebbs and flows of grief. Can you share what has been something that you've done to be able to take care of yourself, or any creative outlets that you've taken upon?
Um, I cried, I screamed, I kicked. I often describe it as if we can imagine a child just having a tantrum, and um, that's what I did. I still do it a lot in my mind, just always wanting him back. Um, I think releasing it, um, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, is helpful. It's a lot to carry, to hold. It all just builds right back up, but I think it needs to be released, and you just need to find a way to release it. Um, I had friends and family, reach out to me. They would just talk to me. They would just listen. They would text message. They would call, check in. And on those times where I call it like the 3 o'clock in the morning people, those people I could call, but you didn't always want to reach out at 3 o'clock in the morning to somebody. So then I journaled. I wrote. A friend of mine got me a book by Megan Devine, and it was like a journal. It asked you questions, you wrote in it. Um, and then just writing to Ocean, just writing how I felt, how I missed him, um, how my day was going, when I was with his daughter, just telling him about the things that we did, funny things she said, faces she made. Um, Lots of screaming. My husband would take me out past Star Pass and go scream into a mountain. Um, I broke sticks. Um, just and a lot of crying and sleeping and crying.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned is being able to release, and a lot of the things that you've shared, um, to be very clear, are healthy ways to release the emotion. But the thing that really like stood out was like, and then it comes back, and then you do it all over again. But how important it is to allow yourself and give yourself that space to release, knowing very well that you're just going to feel it all over again, to not have it compound and compound and compound, because that's when things can get extra heavy and can turn, can be harmful for yourself or the people around you, because you were just holding on until essentially we break more.
Mm.
um and I'm sure, like, I'm saying this, and for probably our audience, they don't understand like what breaking more is, but in traumatic grief, breaking more is something that I'm sure or like what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, I mean, even just the piece of like being able to go out in a mountain and scream, so that you don't feel like you have to like just stay in a box with your feelings. So thank you for sharing that, and also like journaling, writing letters. I know, so many other survivors use that as a modality to express how they're feeling, and can be really helpful in those ways. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong, but do you do, like, on his anniversary, are there specific things that you do to keep his memory alive, or is it, or something about doing the monthly or something like that? Can you tell us a little bit more of
So,
that?
um, I think with loss, with grief, lots of things kind of, and trauma, lots of things stay with you, like dates, times, numbers, and well, the obvious death date. The first year, his friends had put together a memorial jam where they rode at his skate park that he always was at. And, we gathered there. And so the following month, well, after he was killed, we had a funeral. So that takes us to November 18th. And so that's a day where, my family will get together. So then December 18th, 2021, my son had said, oh, prior to this, my son had said, Mom, why don't we adopt the park, the skate park? And so we adopted St. John's Skate Park in Ocean's honor. So since 2021, we have had it adopted. So we have, October 18th, November 18th, December 18th. So that is kind of like the monthly. We've gotten together for those special occasions. And we just, I don't know if it's a memorial or celebration. The December 18th is, kind of that, coming back, stating, we adopted the park. But December 18th, because it goes into Christmas, it goes into the new year. And the very first year, going to the new year was really, really difficult. And what I had done was, I actually had made these shot glasses, and like a parent would always, well, not always, but we say we would want to take our kids' pain, right? And I say I would take that shot for Ocean. I would take that bullet for Ocean. And so I made these shot glasses, and people cheers into the new year. So I had made these shot glasses to give out to family and friends. And we would, take a shot, and it doesn't have to be alcohol, but just bring him into the new year. And that was part of, helping me to bring him into those years that he wasn't here for. And then uh, January 26th is a day that was 100 days. It was 100 days after he was killed. So January 26th is something that I just kind of recognized myself. But in February for Valentine's Day, people show and express their love. And it's not only, love from, in a relationship, but it was this love for Ocean, like why I was doing the things that I was doing. And I started a hashtag for the love of Ocean. And basically, I'm doing all these things for the love of Ocean. When we adopted the skate park, they asked for a group name. And the group name that I chose was Those Who Love Ocean Washington. So on the skate park, it says, we thank those who love Ocean Washington. So anybody who's there and who's keeping the park clean and respecting it are all doing it for Ocean as well. It wasn't just a me thing. I wanted it to be a big part of the community, because that's how Ocean, was. He was part of the community there, especially there at the skate park. So in February for Valentine's Day, and it's fallen on February 18th, continuing the 18, we have a little bit of a gathering, you know, do a fire pit, have hot chocolate, have some food, some snacks, and just have everybody at the skate park kind of enjoy in, a little bit of what Ocean used to bring. He used to bring fun. He used to, he would get drinks for everybody. He would bring the big pitcher of water, because it was always, hot days. And then during Easter, I started hiding 21 eggs, because Ocean was always fun. So doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what religion, if you celebrate the holiday. I just hide 21 blue eggs. And this year we hid 20 blue eggs and one pink for his daughter. And it's just a fun thing for the kids. And like I said, Ocean brought fun to the skate park, all his antics, driving his car, doing tricks, riding with, different. He has a video with him with a paper bag on his head with his, holes cut out for his eyes so he could see. But like I said, just always bringing fun, and in any way I can, I try to bring Ocean forward to today, because I'm his voice now.
Yeah. I I love the how you have been able to like keep the 18th like a continuance to that. And I remember the first time that I heard the story of the shot glasses and how powerful and impactful and creative that is to be able to like in that way. And I mean just the impact that you said, right? Like you, as a mother, you're willing to do anything for your kids, and how impactful in terms of why it even started, um, it is. And I'm sure you know that that piece of like bringing him into the new year with the people that celebrated that as well, came with into the new year. So thank you so much for sharing those moments of how you can bring or you how you have brought Ocean forward and continue to do so. And yeah, the adopt a park, for those of you who are listening and don't know what adopt a park is, it's pretty much your commitment to be able to keep that park clean, and keep it nice and keep it communal. And so once you adopt it, you're kind of just responsible for that. And so in terms of like having the community be able to respect that park, not only because it's a gathering for people in that skate park, but also the added layer of Ocean and honoring him as well. So yeah, I mean, those are all great ways that you've been able to keep him alive, and I'm so glad that you're able to be here with me and just share those stories.
I wanted
Some are new that I haven't heard.
I wanted to mention too. So before my brain had even gotten to this, a woman whose son knew Ocean, and she lives near the skate park. She had gotten together with some of the kids there to start a fundraising and getting a bench placed there for Ocean. And we were able to fundraise and, got the community together and put a skateboard shaped bench with a plaque with Ocean's pictures. And it's a place that it's in a place where Ocean and I stood. This is where I would go, and he would show me his tricks, show me his friends, and so it's really meaningful for me to have something placed there always. I know the sign is there with his name, but this is also like it's like a big thing,
Right.
it kind of just places him there always.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And again, I mean, and it goes into the next question, like what the fact that this woman, was able to fundraise and help like bring this together. What type of support has been like in your journey for and I know like in the initial phases like it's all the first year, right? It was pretty sure it was all a fog, but what did support systems look like for you in terms of like the public?
Well, I mean, initially I had my family, of course, my, my family, my immediate family, the people who I live with, and then all my family, my cousins, my mom. my aunts, and Ocean's friends. I mean, they were there. Everybody was impacted. They reached out, sharing pictures, calling me, talking to me, texting me, sharing even their contact info with me, just to have that extra person to reach out to. I guess um, with the community, I mean, other people who have lost a child, other people who have lost to homicide, them reaching out, just sitting with me, not trying to fix me, not trying to um, even guide me anywhere, just kind of listening to all my all the words, the tears, a lot of being irrational, um, and the tantrum, right? And just sitting there, um, just listening, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so as part of this week for National Crime Victims' Rights Week, the theme is how would you help option services and hope for survivors? What would you share with the public in terms of how they can provide support to crime victims?
Um, I know that it's difficult to put yourself in somebody else's shoes when it hasn't happened to you. And although I've known people impacted by homicide, people who have lost a child, it's different when it's happening to you. Um, Having that um, compassion for others, um, for someone maybe who has just not had loss, right? Compared to someone who just has any sort of loss. I would ask, would you want your loved one to be remembered? I think the answer is yes. And through meeting other survivors, other people who've lost a child, grief, trauma, everything that's attached to it is so heavy. And I think that it helps to hold the grief with other people. So what I've learned is, not only have I continued, um, thinking and remembering stories of other people's lost ones, I think about those people who are carrying that with me, who are carrying, Ocean to the next day, whether it's them, remembering, a memory, a situation, uh, um, talking about him, mentioning his name, even saying, this is for Ocean, this, either this shot is for Ocean, this trick is for Ocean, or I'm gonna go, drive my car for Ocean, have the stickers, placed. And that's just, it's what we do. It's however, it's not a wrong way, it's just a way to continue. And I'm learning, still learning, um one that it's never going to be okay that Ocean's not here, um and just still learning ways to honor him, keep his memory alive, and keep him still going, still relevant, especially with his daughter, teaching her about him. And that is a true legacy, for her to continue, um, for him, and myself included, continue for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, like I feel like sometimes there's a stigma of like you have to do so much and you have to, figure it out for the person that's grieving, and it turns into this like awkwardness of like, well, now I don't know what to do, what to say, or where to start. But I love how you just pinpoint one little thing, whether it be the stickers, keeping his memory alive, telling the stories, like that is support. Um, we don't have to just stay quiet, or if we need to, then stay quiet, but finding the ways that are helpful, and not harmful, and being intentional in that. So thank you so much for sharing those stories, and telling us ways that are helpful to provide support for crime victims in general. um, I know, like I said, every time I think about the word ocean in general, like I now correlate it to BMX, and so those are the simple ways that we can continue to honor um, his memory, and like you said, continuing to just share those stories. So thank you so much, Kimiko, for joining me today. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
I just want to thank everybody who has, continued to show up and support, and homicide survivors. It's really just this invaluable resource that I mean, it's unfortunate that you have to exist, but it's also just a great thing to have somebody come and check on you, um, and to be able to point you in directions, of guidance if you need, and if you'd like, to have those things. It's a really amazing support system that's out there, that's available. And I know you guys are, nationwide. So it's not just only, victims here in Tucson. Um, so it's a great thing that you guys are doing.
Thank you so much, Kimiko. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.